Alright guys, checking back in on the hatch. I got an ethanol content tester. We're gonna test the fuel. This was brought up by one of you guys, so shout out to you if it works. It's a cheap tester and it's actually reusable, so that's pretty cool. That's something good to have on the show. Right now, because to take my return fitting off is kind of a pain. If I have to, I will, but I'm just gonna see if I can sneak a rubber tube in there and just feed enough fuel in here to see if it works out for me. So I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod. Honestly, I just see myself making a mess trying to sneak in like a rubber hose to fill something up. So I'm just gonna take the fitting off and just do it the right way. I have the time. That way too, it's also pinned up against the factory hole here. I'm gonna check out the line to see if it's getting cut or something or getting chafed. So I might as well just pull this off and inspect the line and see how it's doing. My whole goal with this is to not make a mess. I have to switch the key on to turn the pump on and hold this at the same time somehow. There we go. If that's not ingenuity, I don't know what is. Let's see if it makes a mess. That's probably more than enough right there. I guess I didn't really accommodate for the weight of the cup. Luckily it didn't fall. Alright, let's get this test set up. Alright, so I got X85 here in the cup. I'm gonna grab the tester. Here's the ethanol tester. So it says step 1, fill the bottle to the blue water line, which is right here. Pour the gasoline up to the gasoline fill line. Put on and screw the cap on. Lightly shake and sit upright for 5 minutes. Gas and the water will separate to reveal the ethanol percentage. So this is the first time I do this. This is what I got for water. It doesn't say anything about non-distilled water. So I think we'll be alright with just regular water. I'm gonna pop this thing open. Try to get it to that fill line. Money. I'm gonna fill up. Oh, not so much. Put the cap back on. Then it says to shake it. Alright, so there you have it. I'm getting E90. Not sure if that's right. I'm gonna let it sit for a little longer, but I mean, it's been way over 5 minutes, so I'm gonna assume that's good. But I'm gonna let it sit. I'll take you guys off the tripod because I got shit I gotta do. Alright guys, I'm about to pull the injectors because I got my boy Paulo coming over to pick up some parts. And I think I might just send him off with my injectors to get them tested. Well, I'm gonna just rip those things out real quick. We got the injectors out. Next, while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna pull the whole fuel system apart and check my filter, make sure that's not clogged. And as you see, we got some oil down there, so I do need to address that. I'm gonna pop the bumper off. I'm gonna take this elbow off and just drain the tank from the pump itself. I'm just gonna put this in the fuel can. Alright, so this is what I got rigged up here. Just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn the ignition on. Oh no, no. Oh, nice. I need to do something else with this. Alright, take 2. I'm an idiot. I disconnected the return line, but I forgot I took the injectors out. So it was just pouring fuel out of there. But we got that situated now. Let's talk about this while that's draining. I guess I never really mentioned to you guys that I did actually paint this car. And we prepped it and did everything here in the shop. And it's not wet sanded and buffed yet. I mean, it is dirty, but I'm pretty proud of myself. If you guys are interested to see like any of the progression stuff, maybe I could like post it in a short. But yeah, comment down below if you're interested in seeing how this car looked before. Alright guys, we're going to the local speed shop. We're going to pick up a sandwich plate for the hatch. Hopefully fix that oil leak, so I'll check in with you guys when I get there. Alright, we're back. Oh, I just got back from Automotive Enhancement. Shout out to you. I just picked up the Speed Factory sandwich plate kit. Came with everything we need. Check out the 6 sticker. Local speed shop. Dude's really cool. He's actually gonna sit down and explain to you. If you have any questions, don't be scared to ask. The he's the man. But look, nice little kit here. And the best part, all I had to do was drive and go pick it up. I didn't have to wait on shipping or anything. He has a lot of inventory in stock. So it is pretty sick to go to a local shop like that. So make sure you guys support if you guys are local. Cool shop too, you guys should go check it out. But anyways, I have that kit because I've been chasing this oil leak. As you can see, there's a ton of oil in there and some fuel. Why is there fuel on there? Well, because, yeah, don't even worry about it. So I've been chasing down the oil leak since my yellow car, to be honest. I've always had a little bit of oil in the back here. Right below the sandwich plate, the casting kind of comes out. The oil just sits on there until it puddles up far enough to where it leaks out onto the half shaft and it just spins and it throws oil everywhere. And I've replaced the line, I've made a new line, I've replaced the whole sandwich plate itself with another one that I had laying around. But right now I'm gonna jack the car up. We're gonna take the belly pan off. I'm gonna tear into the fuel system today. Let's see if the pump is clogged at all. So stay tuned. Take a look at that. So hopefully we fix that, because that's no bueno. So I'm gonna pop those 2 clamps off, disconnect the line on both sides, and get it on the bench. Actually, before I do anything, I'm gonna take off the positive just so I don't short anything out. So verdict is in. I think this pump is going bad. You can see that? You can see that's metal. I think it's pushing metal out of the pump, leading it to fill this with a ton of metal, as you can see in the corners here. I don't know how well you guys can pick that up, but there's a ton of little pieces of metal in here. And I mean, I shouldn't have bought this used, but I did. It's been really f***ing, you know, I had nothing but issues with injectors clogging. It actually cost me a set of 1000cc injectors, so take it from me, don't cheap out on things. I honestly built this car on a budget. Yeah, you guys are gonna be like, yeah, okay, a budget. It was done on a budget. I traded the wheels I had on my yellow EG hatch. I traded the wheels for the shell of the car. Granted, the shell of the car did not even look anything like this. We actually stripped it all down. We did the whole 9. We painted the whole car. Cut it all up. We gutted everything. I mean, right now the car's like filthy. Like, there's proof. You see that? Yeah, that's blue overspray from painting it. So I haven't even wiped this car down. This car hasn't had a proper wash. Soon though, stay tuned, and me and my boy Alex are gonna wet sand and buff it. So the car should come to life when we do that, honestly. Like, right now, the car is pretty good. There is little nibs in it. Again, it's not wet sanded and buffed. Once I wet sand and buff this, it should come out halfway decent. I mean, give me a break. This was the first car I've ever painted. So I'm gonna say it's not bad, to be honest. Anyways, back to the pump. Don't cheap out. We're gonna get a new pump here shortly. My boy Andy's gonna sponsor the build, and he's gonna give us a new filter and pump that he had laying around that he's not using anymore. Brand new. And we'll slap it in. But for right now, what am I gonna do right now? I'm actually gonna start taking apart the oil filter stuff so I can get the Speed Factory kit in. Hopefully that solves our oiling issue. I'm gonna pop the fender off just so it's easier for me to work in the sandwich plate area without, you know, bumping into it. Now I got room to lean in and not mess up the fenders. So check me out. So I'm gonna take this thing off so I can just take the sandwich plate off with the whole line and everything. All right, here's a quick view of kind of what I was talking about. Right now it's all oily because I just pulled the filter off, but I've always had an oil leak and it's puddled up. Probably where it's puddled up in here. It puddles up right there and it goes on the half shaft and it spins and it just creates a mess. So I'm gonna get rid of this eBay junk and replace it with some quality stuff. So hopefully that solves that. Well, well, well. Would you look at that? That's paint. After me talking all that smack in my last video about people not knowing to clean their starter grounds, look at what I did. It looks like it wasn't creating a seal because of the paint. That's why it was blowing oil everywhere. You win some, you lose some, I guess. Hey, now you know. Right, so I got thread sealer on all this. I got that tightened already, so now when I just drop it in, all I gotta do is tighten that to the head. And I don't have to wrench on anything but the center bolt. I did clean the block down there. I'll see if I can get a clip of that. But I'm just gonna install this real quick. Be right back. Alright, I'm gonna get the freshie in there. Alright, that's that. So that's kind of what we're working with right here. We got the Speed Factory sandwich plate, OEM filter, everything's tight. All I gotta do is connect this line that goes to the top of the head on the head, and we should be good for that. We got the tank pulled out of the Civic, and listen to this. I'm gonna dump this out. Let's see what it is. It sounds like rocks to me. Well, what the fuck? Wow, dude, I need to do better. That's unacceptable. I mean, some of the clarity is because of the bucket was dirty, but just having those rocks in there just doesn't happen, you know? Pump is probably definitely bad, but that right here, that's me. And you know what? It is what it is, man. All this is a big learning curve for me. Me and the boys built this car here in the shop. I've never had a race car before. I've never put a motor together. I've never done anything. So we built this car here. It's part of the learning curve. I mean, you're trying to race competitively. You have to, you know, take into account like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna dump my fuel in, but oh, that's not gonna go nowhere. Let me just do this. Clearly, it's not enough. You know, at the end of the day, it's not perfect by any means. You guys just gotta take into account, like when you have a fuel jug, when you're gonna pour fuel in, all this dirt, that's probably what that is over time. It's no good. It could have cost me the car. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned out 100% this time, and is only moving forward. You know what? On second thought, I'm looking at these pebbles. I'm like, damn, that's big. Like, you know, I know I'm careless, but that, I don't think I would do. So I'm thinking, my vent kind of just made it one day at the track because I forgot that I needed it. So I topped off and it was overflowing here. So I just popped something on, like, you know, on the car. I didn't make this really high enough. But anyways, I was thinking I might be changing the way the return goes. I might put my return here instead of up here, in the vent obviously at the higher port. That's what I wanted to do initially, but the dash 8 was up here and the 6 was here. I wasn't gonna do a 6 return. I wanted to do it an 8. So what I think I might do is try to find a 6 to 8 conversion and a 8 to 6, or maybe kind of find some kind of filter or something for here. Might as well tackle that while I have the fuel system apart. All right, so I'm gonna pop the filter off and we're gonna see how dirty it is. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's definitely metal. What's that? Some kind of corrosion. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, I need to clean this whole fuel system, to be honest. Can we just take a second to compare the filters? The filter on the new pump. Look at the pre-filter on the old pump. So here it is all set up. It's ready to go. The only thing I need to do now is find a nut for that because I must have lost it or something. We're gonna move on to putting in the injectors real quick. Slap these things in. Get this junk out of here. Get some quality shit. Let's go. Lubrication is key. Alright, so we were able to get that in. I'm gonna try to change the camera angle here and see if I can just slap the rail in real quick. I just realized I have to change the grommet style to like a thicker one. Get some quality shit. Real quick. Let's go. Fuck. Like that. Get my screws. We'll pop on this fuel line. That one's still tight. I just gotta plug in the fuel pressure sensor. Finesse with the pliers. Ooh, I kinked that. Alright, fix that. So I did get the injectors tested. I'm gonna put in the results for the injector testing right here. Alright, I'm gonna pop in the tank so we can try to see if we fixed our issue and start it. Everything's already all cleaned out. I have the fuel pump installed. All I gotta do is connect this one line to the tank, and then I have to connect the return line up here. But I did order the correct thing I need to make my return line return to here and my vent to here. So that's coming soon, but for right now, I just want to see if it runs good. I got the injectors because I want to go testing Friday. Completely clogged. I wasn't able to get it clipped with them being clean, but here's a picture of the final test. Now that that's all set, I'm gonna continue cleaning the fuel system.
Another filter to like pre-filter it before I put it in. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be bad. I'll call that good. All right, I'm about to drain out about half a gallon of fuel.
Check out this hackery I had to do. Didn't have another Honda battery. This one, I think I left the ignition on and it killed it. The positive terminal barely wanted to reach, so I got some jack holding it at a janky angle, whatever. Let's drain some fuel out. Alright, I got the return line hooked back up. I'm gonna try priming the system and see if I have any leaks. Alright. I am getting something to replace the center panel because it's driving me crazy. Just falling off. I did have it like Velcroed on. I made this thing. No idea on how I was gonna get it to clip in, but yeah. Well, anyways, it was too hot out and the Velcro just slid right off, so I gotta redo all that. All right, I got a proper battery on there. Let's see what it does now. Alright, we got the car outside, we got it running. I'm gonna let it warm up so I can go for a test drive. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. As you can see, we did a pull down the street. Thing ripped. We do have a track day video coming soon. Hopefully, I want to go to the track this Friday. Test for a bigger event, IFO, as many of you guys know. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we do some good numbers. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.